What is good, good people? You are now listening to another episode of Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and man, it was a very fun-filled weekend for your boy. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and I'm just gonna do a quick episode just to give you all a play-by-play recap of how my weekend went. So, Friday, took the day off, got up first thing in the morning, showered, put my clothes on, threw my stuff in the car, and took that 4 hour drive up to Raleigh to spend the weekend up there, see some folks, and to do some things, which I'll get into a little bit later. So, as customary with me is every time I get up to the Triangle, shout out to the 919. First place I always got to stop is in Chapel Hill, and I have my mind on the cheeseburger at a stop. There's a place called Trolley Stop on Franklin Street in Chapel Hill. I had them for the first time last year, and they had the best damn cheeseburger I had in a very long time. And I'm zooming up 95 in I-40 with my mind dead set on sinking my teeth into this cheeseburger. So I'm walking down the sidewalk. I park my car, walk down the sidewalk, and get the trolley stop. And much to my surprise, the building was dark on the inside with a note taped to the door that said, "Sorry, closed for the summer," even though it's October 6th. So that just had me feeling away because, man, I was dead set on that cheeseburger. Man, you have no idea. Trolley stop. Y'all got to do better. So I leave from Trolley Stop and I walk across the street and I head over to this place I've never been before. I mean, if you know me, if you follow me on IG, you know that I love art and I love museums. And they have a great art museum called the Akron Art Museum on the campus of the University of North Carolina. So I stepped foot in there, and God, I might have been in there at least 2 to 2.5 hours. I just it's so easy for me to get caught up in just art and just stuff like that. I just geek out over art and just spending a whole lot of time just getting caught up in the moment of and just getting drawn into these arts and these sculptures and these drawings. And I had an extremely good time. It made up for the letdown of Trolley Stop not being open. So leave from there and just walk around campus, just taking in all the sights and sounds. It was a relatively chilly day that day, but fall is here, and you could feel it, and it was just UNC is such a beautiful campus, and just being in the mix of the students coming and going and interacting with each other. There was people out in the field having picnics and stuff. It was a beautiful affair. So then I leave the campus, and another thing, I go to TJ Maxx, which which is what I normally do. And I've really been disappointed in TJ Maxx because they don't have any of the Cremo body wash in stock like they normally did. I went to like 2 or 3 different TJ Maxxes in the area, and the ones down in Charleston too, to no avail. And I was low key hot about that because that's my go-to body wash right there. But yeah, no dice. So I leave from TJ Maxx empty-handed, disappointed, and go check into my hotel. And my cousin Kendall, shout out to him, he stops by. We chop it up for a couple of hours, and then I head back out, go to get me something to eat. So, quick stop to Taco Bell just to hold me over for the Friday evening's festivities, which entailed going to my cousin Keith's house down in Raleigh. If you don't know, he's a DJ by the name of DJ Brown Hornet, and he does a Twitch set where he DJs on Friday nights. And I had the pleasure of watching him do his DJ set at his house, just seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak. And it was super dope affair. Went live on Twitch with him a couple of times, and that was cool. Shout out to him because he held it down with the barbecue too. hit me up. He was like, yo, is there anything you want me to get for you? I was like, you know what? I had the taste for some barbecue. I haven't had barbecue in a while. And he came through. I pulled up about 8:30 and barbecue was right there. It smelled good, tasted good, whole nine. Baked beans, green beans, mac and cheese. Yeah, your boy ate good. Made up for trolley stop. I know I'm stuck on trolley stop, but it had me feeling away. So he starts his set at 9, and I don't know how he's able to spin records for that long. Because by the time it was about 11:30, I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to head back out. I'm about to head out and get back to my hotel in Durham." Gosh, it's about a 40-minute drive from Raleigh to Durham, and he didn't end his set until probably 12:30 to 1 o'clock that night. But shout out to him, man. He kept that party rocking. Ain't too many DJs that can do that. So go to bed, wake up Saturday morning, and man, the biggest reason why I was up there in the first place is because one of my favorite rap duos ever is a group by the name of Little Brother that is based out of Durham, North Carolina. And they put together a festival called the Made in Durham Festival, which is basically commemorating the 20-year anniversary of their first album, which is entitled The Listening. And seeing Little Brother perform live was one of the things on my bucket list. And I was like, yeah, when they put the word out that they were going to have that festival, I jumped right on them early bird tickets. I'm not missing this. 2023 is about knocking stuff off my bucket list. So they're the biggest reason why I came up to that area in the first place. And so the couple of days leading up to the actual event, and I made some tweets saying that I was going to be there. I got hit up in the DMs from like 4 or 5 different people, like, yo, I'm going to be in the area, man. Let's link up. I'm like, bet, let's do that. Because again, if you know me, you know that I'm a staunch proponent of meeting your internet friends in real life. So yeah, pull up to the event. It started around 3:30. Still don't quite know my way around Durham yet. I was looking for parking garages. I'm like, oh, there's one right there. And one was under construction still. The other one, it was no public parking. And between that and just me being unaware of the layout of the city and specifically the amount of one-way streets that are in Durham, it had your boy a little cross-eyed for a second. I was getting kind of frustrated, but made it right. And I see my dog Jay Braze, which he's been on the podcast before, and we met back in June in Chapel Hill because he's from I think he's from Pittsburgh, North Carolina. So I see him, like, yo, what up? I'll hit you up in a second once I get parking. And it probably took me a smooth 30 minutes to find a good place to park, but I found a parking space, make my way there, link up with him. First, I get through the gate and I see my dog, photographer extraordinaire, Chris Charles, based out of Durham. And we dap it up and we're making our way to inside. And no, he's getting ready to set his camera up so he can go in the photography pit and meet up with my dog Jay Braze, and then we take our seats, and then first act is my dog Zoe, who was a guest at the plate. He is a big Detroit Tigers fan, and he also played college baseball. So we had a good talk about that on our episode. He had a 3-piece band. Well, it was him, a bass player, a drummer, and his production partner, tall black guy. And man, they tore that joker down. Had shout out to Deborah Bond and Carmen Rogers and Be My Fiasco. They were the guest vocalists. And the one thing with the guest vocalists, I'll tell you the one thing, besides them having beautiful voices and being fine as hell, was the fact that they had some of the whitest teeth I've ever seen in my life. And I just could not stop looking at their teeth. But yeah, it was a masterful performance that they put on. They rocked it for about a smooth hour. Then after their set was over, I go to the food truck area and oh my God, I wish I could remember the name of that food truck, but that was a damn good fish sandwich that I had. And they had Jamaican food trucks. It was just different food trucks. And get my food, eat it, and then I make my way back. for the next set, which was a lady by the name of DJ Hourglass. She was, oh my God, she is super duper dope with the mashups. And she rocked it for a smooth hour. And then another bucket list that I wanted to witness was seeing DJ Wally Sparks, who's based out of Atlanta. He's a super dope DJ. I watch his Twitches all the time, his Twitch sets all the time, but I always wanted to see a live show of his just based on what people have told me. And that man did not disappoint. Good Lord. I mean, just throwing the kitchen sink. I mean, Nuck If You Buck. I mean, Wipe Me Down. He threw on melodies from heaven. And I mean, we was getting involved, Jack. And then he threw on some go-go stuff, which was right up my alley too. Oh my God. Shout out to you, DJ Wally Sparks. You really kept that party rocking. And he rocked for about another hour. And yeah, it was about an hour, his set was. And then it was a brief intermission. And then the Cool Kids came on, which I'm a super dope fan of. It's Chuck English and Sir Michael Rocks. And they've been putting out dope music ever since, I mean, way back in the blog era. They're blog era staples. And just them just running back over their hits, past and present. And they rock for about an hour as well, which then Big Crit set starts. And I mean, I already know how Crit gets on the live stage because I've already seen him twice in Charleston. And again, that fool did not disappoint. I mean, high energy from beginning to end. I don't know how that dude never gets tired, just jumping up and down and running from side to side on the stage. And then he went out in the crowd and mixed it up with the crowd while he was performing, man. It was super awesome, man. He played my sub and played country shit. Man, 215s. He was going through all the hits. And then, bro, when he brought out that damn Big Sant, I lost it. Big Sant is one of my favorite. He's one of the most underrated rappers out there. And it was just so dope to see them together. It was like some Shaq and Kobe shit. And then once their set ended, then the main event shows up. Fonte and Big Pooh, better known as Little Brother. Buddy, that bucket list experience went far beyond expectations. I mean, performed all of their hits. Wish Me Well, Make It Better, Speed. Man, what else did they perform? On Time. They performed the Get Up. I mean, Good Clothes. They rocked it. And they are the consummate showmen. I mean, just the back and forth, finishing each other's rhymes at just the best times. And just it is really a masterclass in knowing how to work the crowd. And in between songs, you know, Fonte he's popping his shit and he's giving anecdotes, and you know, Pooh is talking his shit and then not even realizing in between songs where they talked about how they pretty much put this whole festival together by themselves with no other backing, that's mind-blowing to me. And seriously, thank you, Pooh. Thank you, Fonte. That was a night. That was such a great night. And I didn't even get into the meeting the internet friends in real life part. So aside from my dog Jay Braze, the next person that pulls up is my dog Brian, who is, if you're familiar with the Firestarter podcast, he's the person responsible for sending in the infamous Dan Martino emails. And it was so cool chopping it up with him in real life. And you know, we pulled up met him and his lovely wife, and we got something to eat from the food truck, chopped it up a little bit. Super dope. And then the next person that shows up was he's the unofficial official mayor of Durham, North Carolina. My man D1 H. He shows up. He was like, "Yo, I just got in the gate. Where you at?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm up front on the left-hand side in the Rangers jersey. I ain't hard to find." And then I feel a tap on my shoulder. He's like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yo, man, it's good to finally meet you, man." We dap and hug it up. And then literally 5 seconds after he taps me on my shoulder, another dude is Twitter famous in these streets from the Carolinas. My dog Antoine, aka Slang Dini, literally like 5 seconds after D1 hits me up, here comes Antoine on my left shoulder, tapping me on my shoulder. I'm like, oh shit, yo, man, good to meet you, man. It was, oh my God, such a beautiful experience, man. Just a beautiful black ass experience. Everybody just dancing without a care, getting their steps in. Had an electric slide crowd. I mean, it was a whole lot of, well, as Fonte would say, blackness. That was, I'm just glad I didn't miss it, man. I'm so glad I didn't miss it. Such a beautiful experience. That's exactly what my soul needed. And so around 11 o'clock, they wrapped up. Everybody went their separate ways, and I get back to my hotel and call it a night. And then I get up this morning, you know, make one more run to Wegmans, and then fill my car back up with gas, and then I'm heading back down 995 and listening to the Panthers get their ass whipped again. Ah, this damn team. What an unserious franchise. 0-5. Only team in the NFL without a win. Terrible. And then they play the Dolphins next week, so they're finna be 0-6, but whatever. I don't get that bent out of shape over them losing. I know how they are. But then, to make it a little bit sweeter, the Aces took care of business, and they won game 1 of the NBA Finals and just beat the shit out of the New York Liberty. So they're 2 wins away from winning their back-to-back WNBA championships, and the Rangers are handling business too. Let me see what the score is. Score is 10-5 in the middle of the 7th. So by the time this game is over, if they hold on and win this, they'll be up 2-0 in their series against the Orioles as well. So all in all, it was a super dope weekend, and I'm glad I got to see one of my favorite duos perform, and also to see multiple internet friends and meet them in real life and just have a damn good time. And I hope you able to experience stuff like that in your life too, because I can't speak for other people, but I've yet to be disappointed, as I've said before, by meeting internet friends in real life. So I think this is a good time to wrap this episode up. It's been another episode of Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to my baseball podcast, At the Plate. You can and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you can find the visual component of my podcast episodes. It's at Danny Foxworth 843. Almost at 100 subscribers. I'm sitting at 95 right now. So yeah, if y'all can help me to get to 100, just because that's just a little tiny goal of mine, I'd greatly appreciate that. But this has been another episode of Since We Last Spoke, and until next time, y'all be good. Peace.